This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym. Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. We have a bench workout planned for this particular day. Let's catch up with Cookie Callie.
We need chicks in this video. Can you show us your butt or something?
Whoa. After to see the booty, and there it is. You can thank you later, fellas.
All the squats? Man.
Marcus is looking, he's gonna get mad.
Tell me Marcus might get mad. All grumpy.
He's always mad.
But Marcus just kind of always has that face. He always looks like someone took a shit in his Fruit Loops. It's just kind of his natural face. The natural face of Filipino thunder. We've been bench pressing in a group lately. It's been me, Filipino Thunder, and Damon Thurman Merman. We've all been benching in a group, and it's been going really good. We went through a phase of straight weight. Then we went through a phase that was 3 weeks long. We went through a phase of chains, and now we're going through a phase of bands. Each phase so far has lasted about 3 weeks. This is week number 2. In week number 1, I used 315 pounds plus the monster mini bands that we have on there from roguefitness.com. So if you're following along, you can do something similar. Basically, week 1 we did about 5 to 6 reps. Week 2 we do 3 to 4 reps, and then week 3 we do about 1 to 2 reps. And the sets can stay about the same. You can do 3 to 5 sets for all of those, would be fine. But one thing that people don't realize sometimes about the bands and sometimes about the weights that you're using is I like to have the weights dictate the amount of reps that I use. You can also do the reverse of that. You can have the reps dictate the amount of weight that you use. You can switch it up either way. The weights can dictate the reps, or the reps can dictate the weight, I guess is what I'm trying to say in short. And so for me, I always like to go by plates and by quarters, and I like to go in those terms, as in, 135, 185, 225, 275, 315, 365, 405, 455, 495, 545, 585, 635, 675, and so on down the line. I think you get my point. But I like to go in those jumps, and sometimes those jumps are a little big because they represent sometimes too large of a jump from one week to the next. But that's just the way I like to train. Some of you out there may need to make smaller jumps than that, but you can also just change the reps up enough to allow you to do whatever the hell you want to do. Those are the strong reps. Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna do it for you, Stone Cold. Hang in there, buddy.
little conversation with Stone Cold Steve Austin right there. These are the strong reps from howmuchyoubench.net coming out pretty soon. You guys are gonna love these things. They're super, super strong. That's how they got their name. But they kind of represent the next level in being able to cast your wrist and be able to keep your wrist super stiff and super safe for those big ass bench presses. I know a lot of you guys out there are going to really like them. We've been testing them for a long time now in the gym, and we're just starting to kind of reveal them a little bit, little by little. Strong belt, strong elbow sleeves, strong knee sleeves, and now you got a pair of strong wrist wraps. So now I got 365 pounds on there. The band tension that we're using on this day is about 70 pounds per side. 70 to 75 pounds per side is what I remember. I could be remembering wrong, give or take 5 pounds or 10 pounds or so. But so basically, it's going to represent about an extra 150 pounds of band tension at the top. And you can see, normally, those of you who watch this, by the way, if you're not watching this, then you are wasting your life away. And if you are watching this, then you are wasting your life away. For those of you that have watched me bench press over the years, you know that normally I bench press a lot faster than that. The problem is there's so much damn band tension on this thing that it gets to be very difficult to move those weights fast. Week 1 I used 315. This is week number 2. I'm using 365. And the last week, next week, I'm going to use 405 and probably do a couple doubles. Oh my God, there's Bobby. Hey now. Bobby bench pressing those pink pants, God bless her. Bobby loves to use a slingshot. She's been training really hard. You can see there, not only did she have a slingshot on, but she also was bench pressing against bands, kind of getting a double overload effect. We often get asked here at Super Training Gym how we use the slingshot. And the way that we use it is very, very simple. We just throw it on for an extra 3 or 4 sets after our main work. So it doesn't matter if we're benching with bands or benching against chains or using straight weight. We'll simply throw the slingshot on, and we may do what I call opposite reps. Opposite reps would be if you did sets of 5 for the day, you would now do sets of 10. Or if you did sets of 4 for the day, you would now do 2. So you would just do something like either double or either half of what you did for the day when you put the slingshot on. So you're still going to be able to handle a good amount of weight, still going to handle something heavy. Even if you double up your reps, you're going to be able to handle something heavy. But people ask all the time about assistance exercises, and the slingshot has been a huge assistance exercise for us. We use it quite a bit. I'd say almost every single week we're using it. If we're not using it on this day, then we're using it on a lighter bench day. This is our max effort day, I would say. This is the day where we like to go pretty heavy, although you're not seeing true maxes being done here. One final note on the slingshot: it's going to allow you to bench with better form. It's going to allow you to keep the elbows tucked in, kind of like you see here. I'm tucking the elbows in and flaring them back out as I'm pressing upward. It's going to allow you to bench with better form. You're going to be able to bench heavier with less pain. And so by doing that, you're just going to be able to be in this game longer. And when you're in the game longer, you're able to get stronger. Here goes Damon with 315 pounds. That's why you see us wrapped up like mummies all the time. Look at Damon's got wrist wraps on. He's got elbow sleeves on and a belt. Obviously, I make this stuff, but to be very transparent about it, we are wearing it to sell it, of course. Of course, we're wearing it to make money, make those greenbacks, but we're also wearing it just to protect ourselves. No reason to get banged up in training. So now, speaking of assistance exercises, here we are doing incline presses. I don't think you guys have ever seen me do an incline press because I don't think I've ever really done one before. As you can see, I almost murdered myself there. We've got 315 pounds on there. But normally, for secondary barbell movements, we're either using a slingshot, or we're doing close grip work, or we're simply taking the first exercise and just changing the rep recommendation for it. So if we did 3 sets of 3 for the day with a regular bench, we might do 3 sets of 6 with a close grip. If we did 3 sets of 6 for the main work, we might do 3 sets of 3 close grip heavier. So it's kind of like find what you're not doing and do that, because that's there's kind of an old saying in the strength world, the best program is the one you're currently not doing. And that's kind of the whole principle of being jacked and tan, is to try to find stuff that will not only allow you to lift like a motherfucker, but to look like one too. You want to be able to look like you lift and not just be able to lift some heavy shit. So we try to find exercises that are going to allow us to grow both in strength and also grow stronger. And so incline bench presses are great, been around forever. Nothing new about this. You guys have seen it a million times, but I don't normally do barbell incline. I normally do dumbbell incline. Other favorite exercises of ours, the super training for the upper body, are the bamboo bar. I use that thing every week. You guys see me with that. It looks ridiculous. The band's going all over the place. The kettlebell's going all over the place. Use it every single week. We also like close grip. We like pause benches, long pauses. Sometimes that's an assistance movement. Sometimes even like a spoto press would be an assistance movement. And you can see here, we're just doing a little fluff and pump. Just try to pump everything up, get everything a little bit fluffy, and just trying to work on some of the smaller muscle groups, making sure all the stabilizers, making sure everything's intact. And now finishing up with some rear delts. So this is just a complex. Just ran through this 4 times in a row with hardly any rest. Just party till I puked. Remember, strength is never a weakness, and weakness is never a strength. And that is it from Super Training Gym. Later.